If you're deciding on whether or not to buy some remanufactured ink for your printer, stay tuned because today that's what we're going to be talking about. Hey YouTube, what is going on? Brandon here with another printer video. And today we're going to be talking about something very important, something that could really save you some money, and that is remanufactured ink. Hopefully at the end of this video you'll be confident to be able to make a clear decision. But before we go into the rest of the video, I did quickly want to mention a few things. So first off, if this video ends up being helpful, please make sure to like. If you have any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. If you're new to the channel, also, this channel is focused around one product, and that is to solve one specific problem mainly. There are videos on for unboxing and helping you with different aspects of printing, but really the primary focus of this channel is helping you whenever your printer ends up breaking down and it's not able to print a certain color, it's printing choppy or faded prints, or you're not able to print certain colors at all. To solve that problem, what you're going to need is the Best Printers Cleaning Kit. I'm going to leave a link for this product in the description below. This is a very common problem. That's one of the reasons I created this channel, is to be able to help people who are having these kinds of issues with their printers, not printing a certain color or printing faded prints, and they've already run through the system, the maintenance and all that, and it still doesn't work. The last resort is the Best Printers Cleaning Kit. So again, link below. There may also be other product links for products I end up talking about throughout the video. So keep that in mind. They're there for a resource, but they're also affiliate links. Alright, so getting right into it. Should you buy remanufactured ink? I'm going to cut right to the chase and I'm going to give you my answer, but then I'm going to explain. So I would appreciate it if you watched throughout the whole video from the beginning all the way till the end. But the answer is yes, absolutely. You should use remanufactured ink. There are some instances where I have seen that there are error codes, but those are very minimal. And they're very much worth working around so that you're able to save money on ink and be able to use a remanufactured ink versus the branded ink, which I'm going to show you an example of just in a moment. But how did I come to this conclusion? Is through experience. Over the 5 or 6 years that I've been doing this business, working with printers, I have seen that remanufactured ink is the same as the branded ink. Now it goes for ink cartridges and it also goes for ink bottles. Now with the Epson Eco Tanks or the HP Smart Tanks, you now have a bottled ink instead of a cartridge based ink. Both are going to be just fine with remanufactured ink versions of that ink. So what is remanufactured ink? If you don't already know what remanufactured ink is versus branded ink, is remanufactured ink is basically a third-party seller that has recreated, such as this one, an ink cartridge that normally would be Epson, but it is now the third-party brand. It's not necessarily going to show on the ink cartridge itself. It may just be on the box. But they take the same ink or similar, very similar ink, and then they copy the chip to be able to be compatible with the printer that this ink is used for. They recreate the shape, so it's the same shape. It may not look identical to the branded ink, which when I say branded ink, I mean HP, Epson, Canon, and so on. However, it is still functional and it still has the same use. So the difference really is that it's just a third party that is selling this with some maybe a little bit of a different material, a little bit of different ink, but at the end of the day it's pretty much the same and it's going to be the same usage. I have been using remanufactured ink for a very long time with my printers and I have never seen a difference in print quality. I can tell you from experience that I have seen many printers use remanufactured ink and I've never seen that it diminishes quality or that it causes damage. Now, one thing I will get out of the way very quickly in this video is some people have issues with error codes when they use remanufactured ink, and maybe you've experienced this. And it's interesting because I bought this remanufactured ink and I had never seen this before, but if you see here what it says, when you have an error code that says the following: ink cartridge is not recognized, please replace the cartridge. The solution is, please take the cartridges out and reinstall the cartridges 2 to 3 times. This is the worst that can happen to you, is that you have to follow these instructions and reinstall the ink cartridges 2 to 3 times. That's because of the chip. Sometimes the chip does not get recognized immediately with the printer system, and so you have to do it 2 or 3 times. You may have to clean this off a little bit, but eventually after 2 or 3, maybe even more than that, still very much worth it because I'm going to show you the price difference right now. Alright, so if you see here, we're basing this ink off of compatibility with the Canon TR8520, but this ink is also compatible with the Canon TS6120, TS8120, and 9120. So this is the ink that you would be using normally, the Canon branded ink that you would need to use these printers. It's the 280 and the 281, XL and XXL. So you see here, this is the price, $114.95. You do have free shipping, so that's good. But this is the OEM ink. This is what comes in the box usually as setup ink. So this is the branded, high-ticket, high-priced ink. Now I explained to you what remanufactured ink was. Branded ink is simply Canon's version of the ink. This is the original ink. This is what they created for the printer. And so it's going to have a high ticket value. That's another difference between branded and third-party remanufactured ink, is that you have a high ticket price and over here you have a lower discounted price. Now we're going to go take a look really quick and see what is the price difference for this same exact ink, same exact setup. You have the XXL and then the rest of them are actually branded as XXL. But we're not going to pay attention too much to that. It's compatible with the same exact printers that we were just looking at. And why don't you take a look at this price? $16.09. And that's why I always recommend that if you have a printer, it doesn't matter what printer it is, the risk of using the remanufactured ink, which I would say is virtually zero, but if you want to say that there is some risk that you're going to get an error code, that something's going to go wrong, and you may have had a bad experience in the past, I just showed you on the ink cartridge that there is a label on here specifically telling you, and this is not on all remanufactured ink. This is just the ink that I received, and I had never seen this before. This is the first time I've seen this on a brand. They tell you to take it out and replace it a few times. Now, with the bottled ink for the Epson Eco Tanks, and we may even take a look at an example for that here in the video. In that case, you have zero reason not to use remanufactured version of the bottled ink. $114, that's basically, almost a few dollars off of $100 difference in ink. And you have the same setup. You have the cyan, magenta, yellow, one black that is not as large as the XXL. And then you have the larger XXL and you have a larger black ink cartridge included on this one as well. So it's an apples to apples comparison. So you see the big difference here. So we're going to do this example. Now, just remember, okay, so the price difference for this ink model from the branded to the remanufactured might be this large for this one, but they're not always going to be that large. However, I have found that it's always between the 50% off range. You're always going to get about 50% off. If you're looking for a deal and you can get 50% off no matter what on the majority of your ink cartridges, no matter who you are, wherever you are listening from, I would say that's a pretty good discount. And that's going to save you money over the long run because ink is pretty expensive with the branded ink. One more recommendation I'm going to make before we look at the Epson EcoTank bottled ink to kind of compare the prices of that is this. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. It's going to take you to an Amazon page. I'm finding these prices on Amazon. This is what I use personally. And so because I use it personally, I'm going to recommend it to you. This is an affiliate link, so I will benefit from you using this link. However, I'm providing value with this information as well. So I hope that you benefit from this information, and I hope that you're able to save some money. That is my goal with this channel, to provide you value, to save you money. That's the same thing I do with my cleaning kit. This cleaning kit, the cost compared to having to buy a new printer or having to discard an old printer instead of saving it, it ends up saving you money, providing value to you, and everyone is happy at the end of the day. So all of that to say this, I recommend that you continue to buy ink from Amazon, remanufactured ink from Amazon. Use my link this time, and if you could save the video, you can always go back and go through that same link, and that would be a big benefit to the channel. Remember, link in the description below for remanufactured ink. So we're gonna look at an apples to apples comparison once again. This is the 512, and I'm going to say that it's going to be compatible with this 522. 512 compatible with the 522. Yes, I'm gonna go with this Hippo brand. It is an apples to apples comparison. So here we see with the remanufactured ink, that's the only question we would have. Is it compatible with the 2720? Yes, it is. It says it right here. This is the original. So that's another thing. The number on the actual ink may not be exactly the same, but you can always check in the description whether it's compatible with the printer that you're looking for. Here we have an apples to apples comparison. Now let's look at the price. $55 with 65 cents on the branded ink. Come over here. We got this Hippo, that's the brand, third-party brand that is selling the remanufactured ink, and that's going for $18. So there you go, it's over 50%. But I always say it's around 50%, so that if I'm wrong for whatever reason on one of these brands, I'm wrong in a very small way. If I'm wrong in the way that it's more money off, it's even better for you. So you're always gonna get, I'm gonna say 50%, but in this case, it's over 50%. The last example, it was over 50, way over 50%. So I hope that this information was helpful. If you didn't already know this, hopefully, this helps you out with whatever printer model you have. No matter who you are, most likely, you're going to want to save money. If there was a gas station that had the same gas, but they were just a third-party brand, and maybe they were missing one ingredient that wasn't going to make a big difference. The only purpose for that ingredient was to say that this was a genuine version of the gas, but you had a 50% discount to go fill up your gas tank every time. That gas station would have a line going back miles. And with online, you really don't have that problem. There's a lot of availability, there's a lot of third-party sellers. So this is the benefit you have from shopping on Amazon. All this is information for you to be able to save money on your ink. And hopefully you're able to find a pretty good deal like this. And hopefully you have a really big discount, way over 50% on your printer ink. Again, if it's your printer, or maybe it's your friend or your family member's printer that you know of that's not printing a certain color, faded prints, choppy prints, it's not printing like it used to, or maybe nothing is printing at all. Again, you can use my product, the Best Printers Cleaning Kit, that will solve it, and it will get you back and printing normally again. This channel has many videos showing you how to use this cleaning kit on a variety of different models. On this channel we also do printer unboxing, and then every aspect to do, we show you the print quality, how to install the ink on the different printers that we end up reviewing. You're gonna find helpful videos such as this one, and I look forward to making more content like this that helps you save money, that is valuable to you, that helps you solve whatever problem you're having with your printer. So again, if the video was helpful, please make sure to like. If you have any questions at all, comment below. And if you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. That's really all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.